Valera versus Jaina.
You asked for it. Watch your back.
I just want to see Barnes. Come on, deck. One time. Oh, I drew Barnes. The dream. And N'Zoth. I think if I draw Barnes, I want to have N'Zoth in my hand, since N'Zoth is the worst minion to get with Barnes. Wonder if I prep Burgle here. Sure, why not? Just go ahead and get the cards in my hand. I'm coining out Barnes on turn 3. Sometimes by playing Burgle there, I got a Frostbolt to deal with whatever he plays this turn.
Mind if I roll need?
Anub'arak is not the card I wanted to draw there. That would have been a pretty nice one to get off Barnes. I think the best draw next turn is Blood Mage Thalnos. Looks like this is probably Freeze Mage. Man, the one time I draw Barnes, I draw this garbage too.
Here we go.
At least I didn't hit Thalnos. My deck probably gets destroyed by Freeze Mage. Just gonna go ahead and set up the Spellbinder here, make it harder for him to remove my board. And I'm gonna trade off my dude just to get some pressure going. This guy's a pretty decent pickup. Just a thing that I can do. I think there's actually some merit in backstabbing this guy just so I have more stuff on the board. But since I have two other pretty good sized minions, this guy is just good against AoE. So far this seems like a weird turn from the opponent. I had coin this game, so there's no coin Frost Nova. Okay. So this is 13. Maybe I just assassinate this and push 13. I can also just backstab, send this in, and push 8. Leaves him at 11. He still has to respond to the board.
So many.
But if I can just keep applying pressure with these guys, his bigger, better assassinate targets might just not come down anytime soon. So I think I'm just gonna apply as much pressure as I can. Let's burgle into Ice Block. Let's burgle into Book into Ice Block. Never lucky. The Conjurer is actually pretty likely to give me a good secret though. So even if he plays Thaurissan here, I can still pop him, which is pretty good. Hopefully he doesn't just have Flame Strike or another Blizzard. Base. Wow. That's surprising. Sylvanas is usually bad to play against Freeze Mage because they can play Doomsday or Fireball your Sylvanas and then nuke your board on your turn without you having a chance to respond to it. Plus the Conjurer has a chance to give me a really good card here. So if I take the Eviscerate, I can actually pop him this turn. So I guess this is an easy Eviscerate.
Here we go.
I'm always confused when I play a Discover card from not the class that it's supposed to be in. I was really expecting Mage spells there, hoping to get an Ice Block or something. I'm not actually sure how he can win here. I guess if he went like Frost Nova, Ice Barrier, Ice Block, then I wouldn't be able to pop him next turn, then maybe he could Alexstrasza me and then finish me off.
Let the pain speak to me.
I guess this actually works too, unless I just top deck Shiv.
Watch your back.
Druid is probably going to be a pretty hard matchup. Because my deck is super slow, and they just ramp and kill me.
My greetings.
The pleasure is mine.
In general, I think it's better for me to hold my weapon charges with this deck. Because I'm not very aggressive at all, so getting in like 1 point of damage doesn't really matter. Although I guess, given my hand context, it was pretty obvious that I was most likely going to be hero powering this turn. So missed 1 damage, I guess. But he didn't have wild growth on turn 2, so I'm pretty happy about that. And suddenly I'm not happy anymore. Jesus Christ. I hate this class so much.
Here we go.
To be fair, if I was playing a better deck, I could like have minions on the board to punish him for spending all that time ramping. Shadow Strike is really good against that card. And I'm actually going to prep it just so I can also play this guy. Yeah, I will Shadow Strike it. I thought briefly about sapping it instead. But that deck is going to have other good sap targets. I guess it doesn't really have good sap targets, because the Arcane Giants just cost 0.
The land serves me.
Alright, the Barns is what I like to see.
A tale of true terror. From the death side.
Yes. Play another Barnes.
Tonight, a tale of wonder and magic. This document looks legally binding.
Alright, nice.
In blood.
Go ahead and pop this guy. And then I'm actually just gonna play Barnes again next turn. If the game lasts that long, I might just be playing an on-curve N'Zoth. Let's go ahead and start with the Burgle, because Barnes is random too, but the outcome of the Barnes doesn't really affect the rest of my plays. How much did he pay for this thing? 9? He spent his whole turn playing that giant, so I guess I don't feel bad sapping it.
Tonight, a tale of true terror.
That's what I like to see. So do I want to pop these death rattles? Probably going to be extremely hard for him to deal with my board. Let's just get a bunch of stuff on board. This has been a fun game of Hearthstone. And there's no class I would prefer to be on the receiving end than Druid. Even if he had swiped there, I think he was still dead. Pretty close to it at least.
I concede.
Valera versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Watch your back.
This is probably a tough matchup. Because if I get any of my ridiculous death rattles going, he can just entomb them. But I guess with Barnes, I can get like a lot of death rattles. So he can't make my N'Zoth that bad. Do I take the second Anub'arak in this matchup? Probably not. Probably just need to take the huge toad. have something to play early in case he's playing Blade Master or something.
Are you mocking me?
Uh-oh, he's dragging. Let's first start with seeing if I hit the 50-50. I missed, so I can't play Burgle. I think I will play this Shiv though, because I need to draw into stuff against this deck.
Are you mocking me?
Once upon a time.
I could dagger Deadly Poison into the 2/4 taunt, and then if he heals it up I could just swing into it again, and if he chooses not to heal it up I could kill it with Shiv next turn. I think I kinda just want to play a Burgle here. This might be incorrect. Man, Burgle is so bad against Priest, because then you get Priest cards. Unfortunately, most of the Mind Games targets in that deck are going to be pretty bad, and so many of the dragons have battle cries. But if I hit like Ysera or something, that can be pretty crazy. So if I prep the Mind Games, I have 4 more mana, I could still Burgle, I could Power Word Shield the guy that I get. I think it probably makes more sense to start with the Burgle, because whatever I get off Mind Games probably doesn't give me too many options. I could choose to Shadow Word Pain this instead of playing Mind Games, but that just seems weak. That's an okay minion, I guess. I mean, 1 mana 3/6 is better than okay, but I was hoping for something like a Ysera. I would have even settled for an Alexstrasza there.
My work is paramount. Leave me alone.
As a rogue, I just have no way to deal with this. I can Shadow Word Pain this guy, and then I guess I can eviscerate this guy. I can go Shadow Word Pain, eviscerate Holy Smite. Maybe that's the play. Unfortunately, I don't think I had a good use for my Thalnos there, but I still have the Thalnos Shiv combo. Let's go ahead and draw some cards here. No point in Shadow Stepping my Thalnos. Shiv this guy, because even if he heals it up, I can maybe kill it next turn with some combination of like the second Phantom Knives, the weapon, the Deadly Poison. Start by cycling the fan. Nothing on that board is worth assassinating. I can just pick up Barnes. My hand would be so much better. I probably won't play the Anub'arak next turn if I can avoid it. Some Dragon Priests don't play Entomb, but most of them do. Looks like I won't even be able to play it if I want to. Have to assassinate Rag. Looks like I might actually just be dead here. Yeah, there's no way for me to stop the damage on the board. Well, I guess I can sap. Sap the Twilight Whelp. That feels bad. How many cards have I drawn this game? 60% of my deck and no Barnes. Unlucky. That's why I lost to the Priest. Unlucky.
I wield the power of black.
Alira versus Medivh!
Let the games begin.
Why is it so hard to draw Barnes? I'm just gonna cycle the Shiv here. Wonder if I Shadow Strike that guy. Mana Worm can snowball pretty hard. What are the better Shadow Strike targets in that deck? Azure Drake, Flame Waker. I think I'm gonna not Shadow Strike it this turn. Tomb Pillager's a really nice pickup, I can play it next turn. If I just draw with the Thalnos. I guess I'm just gonna throw out the Thalnos for the draw. There are just so many bad cards in this deck. You need to have as many cards in your hand as possible. Alright, I'm very happy to see that. What's happening? Is he frostbolting my face? That is really aggressive. I think I'm playing Tomb Pillager here 100% of the time. I'm a little bit tempted to prep Shadow Strike or prep Sap along with it. If I play out the Tomb Pillager here and he just has like second Frostbolt plus hero power, or like Cult Sorcerer, Arcane Blast, or even just a Fireball, that Mana Worm's just gonna keep dealing damage to me. I think I am gonna prep out the Shadow Strike here. This Mana Worm's just gonna deal too much damage if I don't kill it. And I still have Assassinate and Sap in my hand if he plays something scarier. So the Kabbalah's Tome does tell me that he's a more value-oriented tempo mage.
Here we go.
But I'm probably still unfavored against that deck. I definitely have a better shot against the value-oriented tempo mage than the burn-oriented one. What could his hand possibly be to justify that play? That's actually crazy. His hand right now is like Rag, Antonidas, double Firelands Portal, Flame Strike, maybe a Flame Waker, Arcane Blast. Well, he's got a weird hand. I can actually coin out the Anub'arak next turn, and I've seen 2 Frostbolts, so it might not be that easy for him to remove. If I sap this, he'll actually overdraw next turn. Probably doesn't really matter since he's gonna have so many cards. I think I will sap it though. This card like really sucks. So him having it in his hand is like having a dead card. The chance that he actually plays it next turn is pretty low, I think. Maybe I should have popped this Death Rattle. I'm really bad about popping that Death Rattle when I need to. It's good to have its Death Rattle against like Flame Strike, which he's very likely to have here. Or even just like an Arcane Missiles or a Flame Waker play, which are also very likely.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Alright, I guess I just let Anub'arak do his thing. And now I definitely don't want to pop this guy, because I actually have big stuff on the board to go along with it. How was his play last turn, Cult Apothecary Sorcerer's Apprentice? Alright, here's my boy Barnes. I'm definitely going to play at least one Barnes here. I think Twilight Summoner is the best one. Actually, no, I guess Yasharaj is the best one. So I've had one Anub'arak, one Twilight Summoner, a Blood Mage Thalnos, and a Tomb Pillager die. So I might actually Shadow Step this N'Zoth. If I Shadow Step the Barns, I can play it here, but I think having the N'Zoth is going to be a lot better.
Choose soon.
And I want the Eviscerate for his face, so I'm going to Shadow Strike that.
Here we go.
Plus I can play Eviscerate in the same turn as N'Zoth right now.
You wanna cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
Let's make magic.
He got 2 Blizzards. So if I play N'Zoth here, I get 2 Anub'araks, a Twilight Summoner, and a Thalnos. So I'll only get 3 out of those.
So many.
I think I am just going to play N'Zoth here. Hopefully he doesn't have, like, Flame Strike. This is actually pretty all-in against Flame Strike. I guess it's not really, because N'Zoth doesn't die and these 2 guys leave 4/4s on the board.
Choose soon.
I don't want to take any face damage, because I obviously win a value game at this point. Alright, don't have Frost Nova. I got him! Oh my god, that game was sick.